Okay, hold on. It's going live.
Put your colors on, Heather.
Okay, we are live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. This is Hollywood, and I'm here with our host, Michelle Mupo, and my co host, Heather Hernandez. Today, we have a very special guest for you. We have rapper, songwriter, performer, actor, Mumm Raw.
Hold on one
Welcome, Mumm
second.
Raw.
Hold on one second. We got to do it over.
Okay,
Shit.
what'd you do?
Just went to a commercial. We don't want the commercial.
Holly looked like I was on point.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. This is Hollywood, and I'm here with your host, Michelle Mupo, and my co host, Heather Hernandez. Today, we have a very special guest for you. He is a rapper, songwriter, performer, artist, actor, Mumm Raw. Welcome, Mumm.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Trying to survive in this humidity.
And you're out here in LA with where are you in LA? No.
No, I'm in PA right now.
PA. There you go. Heather's in Wisconsin, and we got New Jersey in the house. Michelle?
Yes, we got New Jersey in the house, that's for sure. So it's never a dull moment here in New Jersey. So Ron and I go way back. So we decided to bring him on because he has always been in my life and he's one of my people. And he's probably one of the most talented rappers out there. He's a genius. Some say Tupac was a genius. I think Ra is a genius. So, um, the first thing we're going to ask, Ra, please tell us how you got your name.
Okay, well, how I got my name is pretty simple. For most people that know me, and for those that don't, I'm Taino Indian. My family is direct descendants from one of the 17 original Taino Indian tribes in Puerto Rico from Patia PR, for the Jabariquan tribe. My actual native name is Amin Ra. And since I'm a Gemini, what I'm saying, I like to have our balance. Everybody's like Geminis, you got your good, your bad side. So, I'm also like a big comic book buff and a toy collector. And from Thundercats, Mumra was my favorite dude. And so it felt right to use that name. So it's like Ra, when it's just Ra's the guy you chill with, like outside of my shows when you just try to like build mentally or just have like normal conversations. Mumra is the guy that hits the stage. So like if any of you's ever watched the Thundercats cartoon, like when Mumra transforms to the mummy, to the really buff dude and starts kicking butt, like that's me.
Speaking of transformation, your stage presence is incredible. I was watching your videos and oh my goodness, it's but you say is this a part of you or is this how you really are in real life or there's so much energy and your costumes, everything are amazing.
Yeah, everybody always asks me, they were like, yo, like this gimmick you got. And I'm like, homie, it's not a gimmick. Like that stuff you'll see me wear, like when I'm on stage, is like stuff I wear on a regular basis. It's just me. I've always been out of the norm. Saying like to me, normal's boring.
Okay, so you wear masks on a regular basis?
Sometimes,
No, that is
but,
true. That is
but
true. I'm gonna
yeah,
tell you,
Really?
we
but
did
like
a photo shoot.
the rings, everything. Yeah, that's like an everyday thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't wear the rings today.
you showed me a hand thing. Do you have
Yeah,
it?
like claws.
Yeah,
I can get it
yeah.
if you want.
Your claws. We'll put a picture up of that. That is so cool. How do you I mean these claws have like these blades. How do you not cut yourself when you're doing that
Um,
on stage and doing your thing and
it's crazy. Everybody always asks me that. They go like, "How do you hold a cup?" I'm like, "They're built for me. Like they were specifically built for me. So each ring bends with my fingers, just like if I'm moving my normal hands.
Now, are
So
you gonna be selling them? Because I know that you are obviously you branched out and you have this whole line of clothing, jewelry. I mean, is that something you want to do?
no, my rings would never be something I would mass produce to like sell to the masses. That's like part of my whole trademark thing of why everybody never forgot me and everything. Because like my first solo album was called Remember the Name, and everybody used to be like, "Well, what made you come up with that name?" And I said, "Because before everybody always used to see me and be like, 'You're the guy with the mask and rings. You're dope. You're the guy with the mask and rings.'" So I was like, okay. I was like, now I got to make sure everybody remembers the name, so I'm not always referred to as the guy with the mask and rings. But it's what everybody remembers me for, and it's one of the things everybody loves.
now how did you get into music and when did you discover this passion you had for it?
Pretty much since I was like, I want to say like since I was born. It's like I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, North Side. Shout out. Um, my family, of course, like growing up, it was like always like Spanish music around the house. Um, if the adults were having a party and you couldn't find a babysitter, then guess what? You took the kids to the party with you. Now we're just around constant music, constant music, constant music. Then as I started getting older, hip hop was just, still in its beginning stages and like popping. And growing up, I was into the Spanish dancing. So then I went from Spanish dancing to like actual like b-boying before I even started rhyming. But then I was already writing poems, but I was doing spoken word. So like I would do rhymes with like no beat.
You
And
were Spanish dancing? What kind of Spanish dancing?
I do it all like merengue, salsa, bachata.
Really? Oh wow, I love that.
I get busy, girl.
I
Get
did
busy.
a little bit of well, salsa mostly, salsa, but I've dabbled in a little bit of everything. I'm Latin in my background as well,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Like that was my release. Cause like as a kid, I just like I knew I was different. I wasn't just into like what everybody else was into. It was like when I was around music, I was happy. So that's
Yeah.
just what I
Now,
rolled with.
but who actually influenced you growing up? Like,
Like artist wise or family wise.
actually, tell us both.
Actually, actually, when it comes to like family, nobody really family wise gave me inspiration to do it. I was like kind of the elbow. Like they were into like listening to music and like dancing. Like I kind of got the dancing vibe from them. But to like actually like start like working on music and like being like, yo, I want to be an MC. Like it was the Fat Boys. I was always a big guy. So I was like, oh man, if they could do it, I could do it. Of course, Rock Ken. Um, Back then, like I used to have respect for Africa Bambaataa and KRS-One, not so much, but they played a part too. Coogee Rap, of course, Big Pun, you know. Um, so that right there, it was like the whole melody because I was always good at like conversating with people, like growing up. Like my elders always used to be like, "Yo, you got this thing about you." which is why they named me Amin Ra, because they were like, yo, you shine like the sun. Like when you talk, like people listen to you. They're like, when you step into a room, like your aura, your energy, your presence, it like it makes people stop and look at you. And you don't
That
gotta
that
like,
is true. They ask you for your autograph. I've witnessed it.
So
I've what and
can
like
we call you Almond? I
yeah,
like
you can call me whatever you want. Amin Ra, you can call, some people call me
that.
I
some
was
people call
checking
me
out your clothing brand is pretty cool. Can you tell us about that? What's the name of it and what inspired it?
um pretty much it's the the whole line itself is represents my one crew, Soldiers of Ra. So it's the Soldiers of Ra line. And as you guys could probably tell, like I'm highly like into like mythology and like, my culture and like other people's cultures. So I always like I said, like being a Gemini, I'm like everybody always be like, yo, your stuff kind of looks scary. So I make scary stuff look cool and everything. And I always like just like had a good knack for like coming up with stuff like that people might be afraid to like put out.
Are
And
they your personal designs on your clothing?
the designs are a combination between me and my designers. Like I come up with a rough idea and they put all the finishing touches and lace everything out and get it to exactly how I want
Very
it.
cool.
And then we put it out. So then that's when I started. I started off just doing shirts, and then from the shirts it went into like hoodies. Then I started doing the jewelry and started creating like our own medallions and like medallions with my logo and the cruise logo. Then I started talking to females, and I was like, if I came out with something for you, what is it would you like to see? They were like, dresses that we could like wear in summer and winter, leggings, this and that. People were like,
Leggings, yes.
yeah, people
I
were like,
love the leggings. I love the leggings. They're and the dress that matches.
even
Yeah.
as an action figure.
yeah, I'm even working on the toy line right now. Right now, we're doing an action figure of each person in the crew. Then, like, I have the soldier army builder. It's like if kids went and bought GI Joes and they bought all the Cobra Vipers. Well, like now you could buy like all the soldiers of the Soldiers of Ra, and like they're actually the size of GI Joe figures, fully articulated. You could battle with them and everything because that's my whole mindset. I'm like, there ain't no limits to like nothing. It's like
What
every
is what is Soldiers of Raw?
Soldiers of Ra is an expansion from my main crew, Dead Eye Conflict. Dead Eye Conflict is the main crew. Then out of Dead Eye Conflict, I have my rap group Third Earth, which is me and my little brother Seth. Then Soldiers of Ra is like the new kind of like rendition of that because I started picking up artists and like having them under my wing and everything. So that started the Soldiers of Ra. And Soldiers of Ra actually been around for
Years.
now 12 years. And like it was like 12 years in the making and everything because I started Soldiers of Ra when I hooked up with Mission Infect. And that was like, it started off as my own little personal fan base, but then it just broke out into something like way bigger.
I actually remember that. We're old school.
And I have to say, Session, Rob, Big City, I mean, he has a posse that just, and I'm saying posse because I still use the word posse, and I'm bringing back the 80s. I'm just telling
Yeah.
y'all. So like I can go to Allentown and say Ra's name and no one will mess with me. No one. Like, and believe me, if I am I right though? If I went
Yeah.
there on my own, I would probably get killed for
Like I know,
being.
I know everybody, pretty much like everybody in this town knows me for a lot of like besides all this music stuff, like anybody who knows me, even like when Michelle first met me, I was like, outside of all this, my actual profession is private bodyguard. I'm an ex bounty hunter. So like
Tell us about the bounty hunting. How long have you been doing that? or
The
X?
bounty,
How long did you do that?
the bounty hunting, I only did it for 5 years. It was like
What was the
back
craziest case you had?
when we had to go to Ocean City, Maryland, to grab this guy. We had just got off of work. We was working the club. We did the regular hours from 9 at night to 2 in the morning. Then we did after hours, which was 3 till 6 in the morning. Then at 6:30 in the morning, my boss gets a call and they're like, we have um I like info that the one person they were looking for was in Ocean City, Maryland. Now, mind you, when we left Allentown, PA, it was cold down here. When we got to Ocean City, Maryland, like it was hot. And we had to call the police to let them know we were down there. So like there wasn't like a conflict of interest and everything. And we just had to like roll up on the building the guy was at. Um, we had like all the exits surrounded, any possible way like he could get out. We just had it locked down. But like the craziest and funniest thing about it was the girl that called and gave us the info, our boss had to act like he was her gay friend and walk. So he didn't think nothing. So he was able to get in the house quick because normally sometimes like when we have to go get somebody, like everybody's like, oh, well, do you have to follow like a procedure? I'm like, there ain't really no procedure to follow. If they're calling us to go after you, like all we got is the file folder and which shows the right that we have to the right to come get you. But there ain't like no thing. You could be like literally butt naked taking a shower in your crib and I could just go into the house and get you. And like that's that. You know
What a way to go.
yeah,
What a way to go.
it has
And
happened.
and are you still doing the bodyguarding?
I do the bodyguarding like sometimes now. It's more or less like if somebody wants me to like do something, you know, like they talk to me, like if they're willing to pay what I'm charging, then I'll do it. The last actual security, private security job that I did was when Allentown. It was actually the last great Allentown Comic Con where I was the bodyguard for Michelle um, Mitchell's, the original Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
Yeah. I got the bodyguard for her, which was like an honor for me because she was like my first sci-fi crush.
That's cute.
And like me and her have fun, and I like she was like I think like in her 70s or like 80s, and like we would joke around, and she was like, "Boy, I'll take you home." I was like, "I will leave with you." I was like, "I will leave with you." Forget PA, I would be out.
So let me ask you a question, Rod. I'm going to get deep because I know you have a lot of friends. I know you have a lot of crew, and I know you have a lot of fans and admirers. Has anyone tried to get in your posse and then become very jealous of you where you had to like bounce them out?
Oh yeah, that's happened a lot. You know what I'm saying? That actually
How do you handle it?
still happens now. Like the whole purpose of like my crew, like my mentors when my mentors like in the music scene, you know, they always taught me there was like this one golden rule, right? It only takes one. So like if everybody's on the same page, y'all got like the same plan, it only takes one person to get through the door. Once that one person gets through the door, then you slowly pull everybody in. But 9 out of 10 times, I was the one always doing pretty much 99% of the work and leading everybody through. So a lot of people would get jealous because before like the group became just me and Seth, like nobody actually considered any group I got a group until it was me and Seth. Because Seth would put in just as much as work as I did. But everybody else would just sit and just wait for me to be like, all right, everything's set up. So like cats would get jealous and be like, oh, why is everybody always saying Rod's group, like we're a group, like recognize the name. And cats used to tell them, like, they were like, yo, when you do as much work as Rod do, then we'll give you the same respect we give Rod.
Right. It's teamwork.
Yeah, it's teamwork. They're like, we only see one man doing all the work. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that I didn't have people that stayed true to me and like worked with me. You know what I'm saying? Those that did, they got the proper respect. And those people are still with me. Like such people like City, my brother Rome, my brother Friaz, my brother Biggie, um, our brother John, Sess, Sean, A Game, like all those cats, like they
They're good kids. They're good guys.
they keep it a
They
hundred,
are.
and I keep it 100 with them. Like it's like I said, like you can't never have like a goal and be like, oh, I reached my goal, I'm done. Because if learning's a never-ending process, then you can't really ever really reach a final goal. Because once you reach your goal, then there's still a next level of elevation. There's always something you could do. And it's like when Heather was asking me about my merch, it's like, yo, like whatever I could think of, like I tell everybody, I'm like, yo, if I knew you would buy toilet paper, if I knew you would buy Mumm toilet paper, then I put out Mumm toilet paper. Out there. People can think about like whatever they think. I was like, but my life doesn't run on what people think, nor do I live my life for other people but my daughters.
That's that Gemini talking.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah,
How did you end up, sorry, how did you end up in PA from Chicago?
I didn't have a choice, girl. My mom brought me down here when I was 13.
Gotcha. Do you ever get back?
Yeah, I go back for visits. Everybody always asks me, like, would you go back to live? And I'm like, nah, not really. It's not the same. Like unfortunately, like all the people that I grew up with, they're either gone, they either passed or they're in jail. It's like,
Do you
and
ever
then
visit them in jail?
nah, it's like I left when I was 13. So I was like, by the time I actually got to go back there, it was like I ran into a couple people and they were like, nah, this person, like my family would be like, nah, this person passed or this person got caught up in like in
So
the gang
sad.
activity.
Mm-hmm.
I was just never one for that.
do you feel the music is what kept you from that?
Yeah,
You're working on a new album now too. Uh, what's the name of it? What do you how's that going?
it's called the House of M. It's basically the House of Mumra. It's the House of M. It features um, a bunch of artists that I'm associated with. They got some new solo songs for me. It features all my artists that are under Dead Eye Conflict and Soldiers of Rock. It's coming out pretty good. So far, we're at 25 tracks for the album.
When do you have a release date yet?
A release date? No, not yet. But in 2 weeks, we go in to record the album. Then I send the album out to my brother Crossworm in Grand Rapids, Michigan, who runs Dirt Core Music. Shout out to Crossworm. He's going to mix and master the whole album for me. And then pretty much when I send the album to him is when I'll start promoting the album more, be like, coming soon. And then when Crossworm gives me the info on how close we are to having the album completed, then we could put a date on it and then be like, all right, people, this date, like it comes out. So until then, I just been focusing on like getting all the merch ready and like being like, if you want to get anything, you can get the merch now. But I'll tell you this much: the album is much anticipated in the underground right now. I haven't released the album in 2 years since I released Wrath of the Titans, and all I've been doing is just popping up on other people's albums. Because then I started messing with the movie thing, and I'm trying to get like more into that now, and like maybe try to like get some voiceover jobs.
Tell them how many albums you actually have. He has a ton of them.
Uh, Not counting the House of M, if I'm correct. I have done a total of 14 already.
14 albums. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
And believe me, he is very well known. Now, how now what I know you said in 2 weeks you're gonna take that album out to your people in Grand Rapids. Now, let me ask you a question though. How are you gonna do that if we're gonna be back on like with this whole COVID thing? How is that gonna like how
No, we're recording the album at our studio
and then
here
you're gonna just
today.
send them the
Then I just email
Pro
everything
Tools? Are you
from.
doing Pro
Yeah,
Tools?
yeah, we do Pro Tools.
All right, right on.
What inspires the words, the lyrics to your music, to the songs that you write? Where does it come from? Is it your obviously life experience, but what is the meaning behind the new album?
The meaning behind the new album is to introduce people to other artists that they might not have heard of and give a chance for other artists to work with artists that they normally wouldn't work with, just to like open up a network stream to allow people like, like I said, artists that are under me, like whatever, to allow them to even do more. Because everybody used to always ask me, they were like, how did you get so known? And I said, it's real simple. I said, if I had a fan in Kentucky, I would talk to that fan and be like, who's your favorite hometown artist? And they'd be like,
Right.
oh, this person. And I'll be like, well, what would you think if me and that person did a track? And they were like, oh, that would be awesome. So then I contact that person, we talk. They'd be like, I like your music. I'll be like, I like your music. I'll be like, let's do a track. We do a track. Now I got a reason to perform in Kentucky. They have a reason to perform in PA. And so basically the House of M is like a look for everybody into my world and actually see all the people that exist in my world. And it's basically just going to be a fun album because there's all types of forms of hip hop on there. There's boom bap hip hop. There's rock hip hop. There's heavy metal hip hop. There's conscious hip hop. There's horrorcore. There's a Spanish hip hop on there. It's like a little bit of everything. So like, it basically brings together a more diverse group of fans because you have a diverse group of artists.
Kind of like unity. That's what we need. You see, he's a genius. Now,
It's amazing.
And
what kills
you're very generous because a lot of artists in your position generally don't like to give the limelight. We've seen that happen to other artists for fear that they may surpass them. And you're out there promoting your artists, getting them out, sharing the light with them, definitely operating on a higher frequency, and got the Latin thing going with the different cultures and styles of music, incorporating your culture and your heritage into that. I think that's great.
he's not it. You know what it is? The other musicians and I'd say artists, even actors and actresses do it where they don't want to share someone's page. Ra's smart. You know why he's smart? Because when you share somebody's page, you're not only getting to them, but you're getting to their people. He's very
Right.
smart the way he's doing his intellectual property. And that's what everyone should be doing. That's what we're going to be teaching in our courses too.
Mhm.
So, I mean, like I said, Ra's extremely intelligent. Do me a favor, Ra, just
Can
flow,
you do a
spit
little?
something out. Yeah, I knew you were thinking
Yes!
it.
Come on, for
Okay,
Hollywood.
second. I said,
Do Carnage. Come on.
no, do it. You. Okay, I said,
He's like, no.
okay, listen. I said, watch all my people on the low come up, sitting back, sipping Hennessy, toast up. To plunder and pillage feels right deep inside. The chunk of the weed smoking opens your eyes. Stars in the sky, spirit transcending on a long ride. Seas never ending, talk to divine. Mother, she with me, mission infect. I know that you hear me. Study my rhymes to enlighten your mind. I bring the truth and the knowledge they hide. I walk in plain sight while devils disguise. Industry fuck boys should run for their life. This is a war that you will not survive. The elders that guide me demand that you die. Your chance for redemption has now been denied. It's time to face judgment, bleed blood from your eyes. I broken free from the cage. No longer be held in the chains. The souls that I spared are the ones that were chosen to alter, restructure, then rewrite the game. It's best you switch lanes, because in my circumference, I pull out your card, expose you for front, and you think that I'm bluffing, then step up and test me. Craving for war got the rage woke within me. Prophets that knew of my coming been silent. I gave you the message, but still you don't got it. No matter what's proven, you'll still just deny it. Your only concern now is what club is popping. Is this what we come to? I will not accept this. I'm about to switch modes and fulfill every death wish. Who's next on the checklist? I came to get reckless. I gather your souls where your skulls on my necklace.
Woo!
Yes.
Love
Yo,
it. You got that live right
And-
here.
All right.
for the
all right.
record, that was one of his slower raps that, you could actually he's got a style that I think he created, that speed rap. Like, seriously. You, can you do
Well,
like something
Twister,
really fast?
well, Twister, I was like, oh, what was that?
You know what? Because people they're like, how does he do that? How, like, that's what drawn me to Ra. Like, when we had him to move, he was signed to Mutan. He's like, you got to bring my whole posse. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Just come on. I mean, and he gave me my own shirt. He made my own shirt for me, which was amazing. I still have it, and it doesn't fit, but but I got to tell you, the speed rapping, like when he just flow, it was like either you get it like really fast or really slow, and then he goes right in the middle, and I'm like, how does he do that and just flow? It's just amazing.
Because to
How?
me, like to me, I tell everybody, I'm like, people always ask me, like, can you teach me how to rhyme? I was like, I mean, I can show you the basics, but like to rhyme is something that kind of, it has to be in you.
In
I
your
was
soul.
right. I was like, for me, like back to what you asked me, like the words. Um, I study knowledge of mathematics. All right. So when people ask me, they go, "What are you?" I go, "I'm a god." So when I say I'm a god, they take it as egotistical. I'm like, nah, it's not egotistical. Like, that's our universal birthright. I was like, you believe in God, I believe the God consciousness exists within all of us. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like right now, I'm in an interview with not three women, but three goddesses. And it's three goddesses talking
Hey,
to a god.
Hey.
Like,
I like that. I
like,
like that.
Yeah.
like you feel what I'm saying? So it's like, so my whole connection with the universe, like the connection with my culture, is like all the stuff that I read is like that's where I get like all the stuff. And it's like me and Michelle was talking before. I was like everybody would call me like a conspiracy theorist and all this stuff. But I tell everybody, I'm like, yo, if you listen to all my old music and listen to everything like I ever put out, I like from the 90s, I was telling everybody what was coming and what was going to happen. And everything I said throughout all my music is everything that is actually happening right now in the world. So I was like, take it for what you want to take it. But I was like, realistically, nobody has proven me wrong yet.
I like that.
see that?
So you could take it like I'm a messenger. You could just take it however, like you want to take it, and like
That's
whichever
why
one
we
like
click.
feel comfortable for you is like cool with me. I'm a god because I teach. I share knowledge, so people can gain knowledge, and it later becomes wisdom. You
I
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
understand that. Like Wayne Dyer, I was listening to a lecture that he had done, a recorded lecture, and he led everyone through a meditation, and he said, I want you to close your eyes, and when you feel angst or you feel something, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to say these words: be still and know that I am God. But he said that you are, because all of us are.
Yeah,
What we're science and spirituality come together, because when something breaks or it's torn or something shatters, it goes into pieces, right? It doesn't stop existing, it just changes form.
yeah. It's
And
like
he was describing the same thing with people, and so therefore I believe that we recognize each other because we're each, like, I recognize you because you're a cell just like me, and
yeah.
and we're all floating together in this universal existence.
It's like I tell everybody. I'm like, look at life like a chess game, right?
Hmm.
What's the most important piece in the chess game?
The king.
No, it's not the king.
I don't know how to play chess. I'm not gonna lie to you. No.
The pawn? The pawn?
No, it's not the pawn.
What is it? The queen?
It is the queen.
Oh,
Oh, well, that
wow.
explains it. It's a woman.
Do you know why it's the queen?
No.
Because you're the only portal between the physical and the spiritual realm.
Oh,
We
that's
can lay the
beautiful.
seed. You create the baby. You carry it in your womb.
Right.
And like it comes. When you play chess, a king can move in any direction, but only one spot. But once you take out the king, you take out the king. Your queen can get captured, but if you get your pawn to the other enemy's side, then you get your queen back. The queen can move as many spaces as she wants in any direction that she wants and take out anything that she wants. So it's like on my back, right? Like actually on my back, I'll have to show you guys in person because it'll be too hard on the camera. But like on my back, I got a female baby pregnant with the earth inside a matrix pod.
The
Right?
giver of life.
Right. Everybody was like, what made you come up with that? I said, it's my philosophy of life in a picture. And I was like, the baby's pregnant with the earth because it's like the earth going in its next genesis. You see numbers on the baby's forehead and wires connected to the baby's head. I said, that's the baby processing knowledge of mathematics. I was like, it's in a matrix pod connected to my back because man's supposed to protect women. If we don't protect women, we can't sustain life. If we can't sustain life, then we end our existence. You know what
Amen
I'm
to
saying?
that.
Amen.
So that's like the whole purpose, because if we're all like they all say, like people always go, oh, well, we're God's children. We were made in the image of God. And I was like, well, then if we're all God's children and we were made in the image of God, then that makes you God, because now the God consciousness exists in you. Like, I don't knock people if they be like, oh, thanks to the Lord, I came out this dark hole. But you know who got you out that dark hole? You and the true people who were next to you that got you out that dark hole. You have the same power to create as the creator. So therefore, you can control your destiny and your path.
Yes, you can. Amen to that. Do you think that your heritage and your upbringing had a lot to do with your deep thinking as far as spirituality and your beliefs?
Um, yes, my heritage definitely. Um, my upbringing, yes. Like when it came to like the music part, like you know, chilling with the family, dancing. I mean, like otherwise that, like my upbringing was like pretty rough. Um, Half the stuff that like I've been through, like to even be walking or even like having this interview with you guys right now, like to everybody is like, yo, like if you knew like the stuff that I've been through. Like at 7 years old, I was thrown off a building, like I was in a coma. That's when I saw the
Oh my
truth behind
goodness.
everything.
He has
Like
a story.
What was that like? I mean, growing up with so much, all that rough stuff happening, and what did you say to yourself to get out of that? How did you guide yourself?
one thing that helped was um, rest in peace, because they're all three are passed right now. My oldest sister, whose birthday was July 4th, she passed away in 01, and I mean 2011. Uh, she was like my first supporter and my first biggest fan. She was the first person out of my family to believe I would do something with the music. The man that raised me, even though he wasn't my biological father, he was my father, and he knew what I was about, and he helped like teach me how, like, you know, once you reach one goal, you know, you got to keep excelling. You know what I'm saying? And you know, being respectful and all that and stuff like that, I get from my mother and my grandmother, but a lot from my grandmother, because my grandmother was no joke. She was straight from the island, and she don't play that.
Yeah, those Latin women are pretty powerful when it comes to correcting their kids
So
in
listen,
every
Very
way.
strict.
In every way.
anybody
Yeah.
who can throw a sandal and make it curve around the corner of the doorway and still get you, that's good.
Hey, Rob, is there anyone that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet? Like,
Chino itself.
and how are you going to make that happen?
Well, actually, I I work with I'm friends and I work with his nephew, Andre the Giant, who he lives in LA and everything. So I'm hopefully like, you know, maybe I could work out something with Gondre. Shout out to Gondre. He's working on some
Well, let's make that happen. Let's
And
see if we can
with a
help
little
you.
help from Michelle Mupo.
Yeah, let's see if I could help you with that one.
I mean, like there's a lot of people I would like to like work with, you know, and I'll probably have to like make a list. I know right now, like my main focus is to just get this House of M album out right now, and you know, just see what's the next move from there, and actually definitely to do more movie stuff.
I definitely see that. I even see you in the sitcom that we're doing.
Which is
I have a few questions for you before we wrap up. First of all, I want to thank you for coming on and spending time with
Yes,
us.
yes.
You're
Yes, thank you.
awesome. And Heather and I got to meet you before, and we were blessed to have had that little rendezvous. We all got on Zoom and chatted, and it was just so cool. And you were so real and so just I saw you relax, and I was like, oh, that's good
That's my people.
people. That's good people.
I love
Uh,
them.
what for you? What is something you're most proud of?
my daughter's
That's
greatest
beautiful.
creation I ever had.
Best what?
Greatest creation I ever
Uh,
had.
And if you could say something to younger people growing up in, rough neighborhoods and uh, kind of not really having a sense of direction, what would you say to them to reach for?
Whatever you want to do it. Do not worry about what people saying. It's just words. Words cannot physically stop you unless you allow it. Words cannot hurt you unless you allow it. If there's anything you want to do, whether people got your back or not, if nobody got your back, yo, just do it. Because like I said, like when I created my crew that I conflict, it was to help everybody. We took everybody in. And basically it was like a filtering system. Throughout it all, we would find out who was the ones that were real trying to do something and who were the ones that were just trying to like sponge off of us. And that's like one of the reasons I got so much respect in Allentown, because a lot of people would be like, you know, hey, like if I don't mess with you, then there's a reason. So like they would have to question that. So it's like live life by how you feel fit. Because if you worry about your surroundings or what people saying, you're never gonna get out of where you're at.
That's true. That's true. You have to
You gotta
believe
believe in
in
you.
your dream and in yourself.
Yeah, like if nobody else believes in you, but you believe in yourself, like to me, that's enough because I dealt with that. I dealt with that, and I would always tell people this. Like before I met Michelle, people used to be like, "You weird." I'm like, "Fine, I'll be weird, homie. You don't gotta mess with me. You don't gotta even be around me."
Mom Raw, where can people find you?
Uh, you can find me on every digital outlet: Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all that. You just have to type in the God Mumra. You can find me at mumra.bandcamp.com. That's mumm-ra.bandcamp.com. There you can listen to all my solo albums that are out now and purchase them. My merch store should be up soon, but for right now, if anybody wants merch, you can find me at facebook.com/mumra the God, and you can hit me up personally for any merch that you like. And there's also my YouTube channel, youtube.com/invisible God and the number 7.
And
And
Instagram.
my Instagram, which is at the God Mumra, and my Twitter, which is at Infect Mumra. That's INFECT Mumra, and I believe that's it.
You're worldwide.
I'm trying, girl. I mean,
Yeah.
I do got fan bases in a lot of places. You know what I'm
And
saying? For
tell your fans that your the name of your new album coming up again.
again, for everybody that knows, and for those that don't know, if you want to share the word, the new album will be The House of M. It's scheduled to be a triple album, and it's definitely coming out this year. And I would say probably sometime around the fall, maybe close to Halloween. Maybe close to Halloween.
Ooh, I see
And
some amazing.
for the record, Brandon Beasley said, "What up, Mum Ra Ra Army?" So he's watching live on YouTube now because we went
Nice.
live on YouTube, which we are going to premiere it.
Yo, I love
And
that dude right there. And shout out to Quad B, Bubba Miller. Yo, that dude Brandon right there, man. That man shows me mad love. I love you, Brendan. Him and his girl get a lot of my stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It just feels good to to just be appreciated. And at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, my music is just here to enhance and enlighten your mind. Take it for what it is. Like I tell everybody, I just I share the knowledge in hopes that it helps everybody better their lives. I talk about my life experience, so you see, like I go through messed up stuff too, and if I can like prevail through it, then so can you. Take the knowledge I give you and don't do what I do. Do it better.
There you go. Wise words
amen.
from Mum Ra. Thank you so much for being on our show. Keep an eye out. He is definitely Hollywood's one to watch. And we will be posting all his information in the links above. And we look forward to seeing more of you and definitely look forward to having you back. Again, I want to thank all of you for joining us on Mupo and Friends. Thank you, Heather, my co host. And thank you, Michelle Mupo, for having me on your show, co hosting. It's such a pleasure to work with you.
No,
And
I'm
to every,
blessed.
aw.
I'm the one that's blessed. I got
We're
I got
all blessed. We're all
people.
blessed. And to everyone watching, thank you so much. You can find us at mupotv.com. And this is sponsored by mupotv.com. And also check our website at www.mupoentertainment.com. And just remember to operate with love, kindness, compassion, and heapfuls of empathy. And we will see you next time on Mupo and Friends. Until then, this is Hollywood over and out with Mupo and Friends. We are over and out.